Hello friends. From last week onwards, we started to give an update about how the markets may behave in the coming weeks. So, previous week, that is from May 11th to May 15th, the predictions what we gave, the markets exactly behaved in that fashion. That is, we said that the markets will trade from 9,000 to 9,400, and exactly it happened in the same fashion. On May 12th, there was a surprise announcement by our Honorable Prime Minister saying that there will be a fiscal stimulus package of around 20 trillion rupees, and the markets opened big on the next day. But unfortunately, it could not hold on to gains, and it settled somewhere around 9,400 on that particular day. And the next day, all those gains were wiped out. Once again, we came back to levels of 9,100. So this is what which happened in the previous week, and once again we are stuck in that same trading range of 9,000 to 9,400. Okay, market closed Friday at around 9,130 levels, and global markets are not so strong. Of course, Dow Jones has recouped some of its losses, but still there are tensions. US-China tensions are still there. Globally, markets are not so strong as it were in the previous week. So that is a factor which has to be considered. Okay, locally also, after Friday evening 4 o'clock, we had announcement from our Honorable Finance Minister. Saturday, we again had another press conference, and Sunday. So on Friday, Saturday and Sunday, Friday was dedicated to agriculture and farming side. And Saturday, there were some good news related to coal sector, mineral sector, and that's what, only coal and mineral and some defense sectors. People were expecting a lot, especially on Sunday, that is on the last day of the announcement. There were huge expectations from many sectors, especially from automobile sector, banking side. They were eagerly expecting that some big announcement may come from the finance minister, and unfortunately their expectations were not met. So this is the present scenario of the stimulus package what the Prime Minister has announced. The markets expected big in the form of fiscal stimulus, and markets also expected that there will be some sort of announcement which could once again revive the demand sentiment. But most of the announcements made by the Finance Minister were on the supply side, and perhaps this may not go well with the markets. That's my opinion. And we have to remember that markets are now positioned on the lower band. That is, it is sitting near the support zone of 9,050, 9,080, 9,100 levels. That is the lower band. In fact, on Friday, markets touched that support level of 9,050, and somehow, what to say, it scraped back to 9,100 levels. We cannot say that it bounced back. It just crawled to that levels, and we cannot take it as a strength of the market. So markets are now positioned in a very, what to say, a precarious situation. Any fall from this level will push further back to another 400 points cut. So that can easily happen. So on the other side, if market takes these announcements as positive, it can again bounce back, and it may even go beyond 9,400 levels, because there are huge shorts in the market, especially in the banking sector. As I told you in the previous week's video, banking sector is continuously underperforming, and until and unless the banking sector revives, or if there is a significant contribution from the bank index, we cannot expect markets to move past 9,400 levels. But now the hangover is over. The question of fiscal stimulus, what the government may announce, so what is there in store in the government's mind, all those things has been clearly spelled out. So it is now up to the markets, because to be frank, as of now we can't say anything, because it is just sitting on a perfect, a cliffhanger. It can go up from this side or it can fall flat. Another negative news is that the lockdown is extended to May 31st. So that is also a big negative news for the market as of now. So markets were expecting that the lockdown may be lifted from May 17th, but it is extended till May 31st, especially in states like Maharashtra, which contributes a lot. So these are all some of the negative factors which are weighing a lot on markets. But to be frank, markets will always behave sometimes, not always, sometimes behaves exactly in the opposite manner what we predict. As of now, the sentiment is negative. Perhaps there may be some positive news given by the government in form of liberalization in some sectors like coal, minerals, defense, space. It's really some sort of good news are being there, but these are all good only for the medium to longer term. It cannot lift the spirits of the markets immediately. That is as per our opinion. But to be frank, who knows? Definitely nobody can exactly say how markets will behave, because at sometimes people will say that the markets have already factored this. Markets have already factored that there is not much in the fiscal stimulus. That is why they reacted negatively from the next day onwards. And okay, from here onwards we can move on. That too can happen, because it is now sitting on a lower band. That is why I say anything can happen. It's a make or break situation for Indian markets from Monday onwards. So everything, as I told you, will depend on how markets opens and how market closes on Monday. If there is a gap down opening below 9,050, definitely we are in for more pain. If suppose markets opens above 9,050 and makes some gains, especially in sectors like metals and defense like thing, definitely we are in for, again, we can't say that it will break 9,400, since as I told you, bank index has to perform. So that's one thing. Perhaps the only positive news which came late on Sunday is that the General Atlantic buying stake in Reliance. So definitely Reliance, big boy Reliance once again will support Nifty, and I hope that it will hold Nifty strong and help Nifty not to fall below 9,050 or 9,000 levels. So this is the prediction what we have. And remember, the same thing happened in April also. Markets were sitting on some negative bias and people were expecting that market will crash and it may reach 8,800 levels. Surprisingly, market started to boom from Monday onwards and it ended up in 9,800 levels. Here in this month also the setup is similar to that. So who knows? You may ask me, so what's your prediction? Frankly saying, I am keeping my fingers crossed, because as of now the sentiment is negative, because the expectations were high from all sides, so that this fiscal stimulus will pull the markets to higher levels. So unfortunately the expectations were not satisfied, but still we have to give one big credit to the government, because they walked a tightrope on fiscal deficit side, and so that will do a bit good thing for the markets. So as I told you, again we are stuck in the same range. Unfortunately, now we are on the lower band. Everything depends on how markets will behave on Monday. Globally, how markets are behaving from Monday onwards, what happens to the tensions of US and China. All these things will play into effect, and the lockdown period. So let us hope that markets will come back strongly. And sector-wise, if we see, again bank is weak, metals look bright because companies like Hindalco, Vedanta, Tata Steel will be benefited by the recent announcements. Defense sector, Bharat Forge, then BLBML, such stocks may do well. Even Mahindra and Mahindra can do better, but the only thing is Maharashtra lockdown is being extended. So sector-wise, if we see, metals can do better. Even on Friday, we saw that metals did well because of that China data. So all those things will contribute to the metal side. Reliance once again will come back to the rescue. So things are not so bad, but at the same time, we don't have much to rejoice. So with these few words, we say that, okay, it depends on markets opening, and let us hope that markets take these levels as support and once again bounce back. Once it bounces, then there are enough shorts in the market which can take again the market to 9,800 levels. So once again, thank you for watching this. Please subscribe Easy Castle, put your valuable comments, share this video, and like us. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching.